In this video, I want to talk about everyday wellness and one thing that you can do to really direct yourself more in this optimizing direction. And that's not necessarily to create a list, though that can be a good way of formalizing this, but just to brainstorm all the wellness habits and behaviors that you want to engage in throughout the day, and just kind of go over it in your head and think about more or less what do you need to do, what are your priorities for that day, and particularly to yourself. What do you owe yourself? Because this is ultimately about supporting your well-being, and what would you feel like you've accomplished in particular in that day that you'd be happy with if you missed one or two things, but you got 80% of that, what you needed to get done. That this is a good way to start moving you in a positive direction, and to start prioritizing tasks based off what you find meaningful and valuable. And that ultimately is going to be very, very effective in building and scaffolding up your wellness from getting these individual tasks done, and also connecting it more to what you find to be significant and valuable, which is key to optimizing your wellness, rather than focusing on somebody else's list or somebody else's priorities, because that can really take us away from the self and also contribute more to negative ill well-being through sacrificing what's valuable to the self and what the self finds meaningful in relation to another. And so it's very, very important to establish these boundaries, but also just to stimulate thinking about wellness and well-being in general. And eventually what you might want to do is start to incorporate general concepts of wellness, like maybe it's something as simple as, okay, make sure you're drinking throughout the day, that you're eating 2 to 3 meals, and if you're eating two meals, that maybe it's related to fasting, and then you're following those principles of fasting, or maybe you can get fasting to work with those reduced meals, and this can help to also optimize wellness. And we'll get into fasting in another video. Or maybe it's about when you're going to exercise, if you're going to get physical activity, or if you're going to engage in something that's psychologically stimulating, as well as generating your own sources of positive stimulation through things that you want to do, or hobbies. So maybe it's reading, maybe it's writing, maybe it's socializing with friends, and in more of an active way that you're engaging more of your mental faculties and your thinking, and you're expressing yourself in meaningful ways, and ways that you value. And so when we start to focus more on these positive optimizing aspects of wellness through just starting our day with a brainstorm, this can be very effective in getting these things done and starting to stack up the individual level initiating processes that directly support well-being. And you'll find that if you do this on a daily basis, and you just, before you had difficulty even doing one thing, that, within a couple of weeks you can recognize all the different wellness things that you do in a day, and all the very different things that you do that support your wellness throughout the day as you're progressing throughout your week. And things will pop out to you that are meaningful and that support your well-being directly, and you'll become more cognizant of this as you engage in more thinking, and particularly thoughtfulness regarding your own well-being. So that's a little bit for right now, and I hope you enjoyed that. So bye.